What does love mean to you?
I think what I've realized in our relationship is that love is like something that you build with someone else. For me, love is feeling like I can be any way that I am and still deserve respect and care and celebration. It's a shared ecosystem almost where two or more people play a part in each other's lives. And I think this goes for like families and friends as well. But I think partnership is so special because you get to see each other at your most vulnerable points. And like when you're upset or when you're processing trauma that you might even not understand you're processing, or when you're really excited about something or have a goal or have a dream or going through grief, it's like those little opportunities you have to support each other, I think, build what love is. Let me try to wrap it up in one sentence. I think love is making space for each other so that no matter what the other person is going through, you're able to hold them and celebrate them and see them and support them. And I think the more you're able to do that for each other in a relationship, it's like love is like a seed and then it just grows and grows and it becomes like a branch and then a tree. And I just feel like the longer you're able to learn how to love each other, then it's like the foundation of the bark becomes so strong that it's like a huge oak tree and nothing can topple it down.
What are your favorite things about Mikhail?
I think my favorite thing about Mikhail is I feel like when I'm able to see him clearly, I see this little boy inside of a man. And that little boy is so playful and so loving and so eager to share happiness with other people. I appreciate how youthful he is and how we're able to, at one point, talk about our future and communicate about all the things that partners communicate about. And then at another point, we can be like two little children running around. Just sometimes we'll have these conversations where I feel like we're not even saying anything. It's just we're laughing at each other. And we'll be walking around and there's no aim to the walk. We're not like going to eat and we're not like going to do anything. It's just coexisting and playing with each other. And I think my whole life I've just wanted to play with people. And I think naturally I also feel like a child at the center of who I am. And so being able to share a relationship with someone and grow alongside of them as adults and as men, as queer men, but also as these little boys who also a lot of times don't know what's going on, but it just feels like as long as we have each other, we'll figure it out. And I think I owe a lot of my recent excitement in life and trust of life and the things I want to do, the joys of being present to our relationship and like to Mikhail, because he really helps me stay grounded. And I love that about him too. Like he's very pragmatic and he's very realistic, whereas I think I'm very like unrealistic sometimes and my head is in the clouds and I want to do all these millions of things at once. And I think those aspects complement each other. And then one last thing is he is just very active and capable of doing things. I'll order random things and they'll stay in the box for months. Or I'll order a piece of furniture and if I was living alone, it'd take me probably a year to take it out of the package and build it, whereas he just like opens it and does it. And every time that we get back from a trip, he just immediately unpacks, which actually sometimes pisses me off, but then it inspires me to actually unpack, and then I don't have a suitcase just laying there for 2 weeks. I think my favorite memory is like when we went to visit his family over Thanksgiving, and we went to Juarez and El Paso. And I don't know, I've had the privilege of traveling all over the world and have had lots of exciting experiences, but I don't think I've ever had an experience like that fulfilling in the sense that every moment just felt so vivid to me. Meeting his family for the first time and seeing where he grew up and meeting his close friends from his college years. And we spent 3 days in El Paso at his brother's house. And it just felt perfect. Like every day we just wake up, make breakfast together. We went to the mountains to hike. I met his nephew. We went to the mall to buy Christmas gifts. And it really, to me, just felt like a family. Really, I don't think in my life I ever thought of that or expected it or like dreamt of, oh, one day I'm going to have a partner and I'm going to meet his family and I'm going to feel so at home. So that was, I don't know, like shocking to me just how blissful it all was. And we like slept in their like guest room and I don't know, it just was really special to me.
Something you want to remember as you continue to share your life together?
That anything is possible and not to take life too seriously. I think we both have a lot of dreams that are like specific to us, but then also dreams that we share together. And I think, honestly, I think like the nature of our relationship was so organic. Like we met and then it just felt like we'd been dating for a year, even though it had only been a week. And we immediately started doing everything together. And I don't know, I feel like everything has happened so naturally that we haven't had to stop and think, what's the next step or what's on the horizon? And marriage is funny because I think it's a natural thing that society thinks about as like, oh, the next step. So we have been thinking about our future together, and I just want us to remember what it feels like, I guess, to not know what's ahead. Because there's so many things we could do that excite me, like moving to a new place. Or I just feel like anything in life that we do, if we do it together, it's going to be amazing. And I want us to remember that and to not be afraid to try new things and to grow in different ways. And yeah.
What is one quality that Mikhail loves about you?
I think actually it's similar to what I love about him, and I think he loves how youthful I am as well, maybe in like different ways. And it's funny because sometimes he'll be like observing me like doing something and then he'll start laughing and I'll be like, what? And then he'll say what he thinks is going on in my head as I'm doing something, and it's usually like very accurate. Like actually today I just like, I cut these, we had an old baguette, so I cut it into pieces and put it in a pan and then put cheese over it, like very simple. But it was the first time I probably had cooked all week because I don't cook that often. And as I was doing it, I was like, it was gonna be so good. Like it looks like so fancy. Then he started laughing at me and he was like, you're just like so proud of putting the cheese on the bread. And I was like, yeah. I think he also appreciates like how I push him to maybe think more positively and be more optimistic. Because we both come from very different places, and I think we both support each other in those ways.
What is Mikhail's biggest pet peeve?
Probably that when I wash the dishes, I don't wash them well. And sometimes there are little pieces of food. Or that I always eat before sitting down. If we're preparing, I'll just take a few bites as I'm putting things together. I think it's probably just I am impatient. Like, I don't wash the dishes well because I want to just do it fast. I don't wait to eat. And then in general, I think I'm like impatient with myself. And he like, but he, you're right. This isn't about me.
Right. What's your greatest strength as a couple?
Greatest strength together, or I think that we're able to laugh at anything and able to have fun anywhere we are, and also able to check each other, which means like we're able to check on each other, but we're also able to like help each other snap out of moods or spirals or like moments of just like stress or like anxiety. I think that's why I get so excited when I think about us traveling or moving or doing anything new, is because it just feels like we're two little superheroes if we're with each other and like we can achieve anything and will bring us down.
Who's sexier?
Me. Oh. No, that was a joke. I think Michal is really sexy
That wasn't the question.
as a man. I think I'm really sexy as a queen.
That wasn't the question either.
I think Michal. Okay, ask me again.
Who's sexier?
I think Michal is the sexiest man alive. No, I really do think that. But I'm also sexy in my own way.
We're saying who's sexier, not saying you're not sexy.
I think.
Or he's not sexy.
Yeah, okay.
You've answered. What was your first impression of Mikael?
I think my first impression was that he was actually this like sweet, good-natured man, boy inside of a man, as opposed to this scary, hot, badass tattoo guy. Like when I first saw him, I was like, oh, it's Aaron Piper. And yeah, I think on our first date, it was very clear to me that there was like, I don't know, like mischief behind him and like silliness and playfulness. And I think on our first date, we were both actually pretty shy, but I just knew, I don't know, I just knew something was there.
What were you doing when you realized you loved him?
I think I fell in love with him really fast. And when you asked me that, I thought back to like when we first started dating, and I feel like literally in the first 2 weeks, he just was doing everything with me. Because I'm the kind of person who, if I meet someone really cool, I'll invite them to everything. And I think it's rare to meet someone who actually shows up. And he was just like always with us and our friends. I think one night we had a party at our place, and it was just so easy to like have fun with him and see him with my friends. And I sensed that he was like shy compared to me, but I think he really just put himself out there. And I think the next morning we woke up and just laid in bed all day and watched movies. Actually, I remember that we fell asleep cuddling, and then I woke up and we were still cuddling. And to me, that's like kind of crazy, because normally when I fall asleep cuddling, at some point I subconsciously just get tired of it and I like push the person off me. But that worked, and I woke up and I was like, wow, like we're still holding each other. And I think I always wanted that.
What is something that Mikael brings to your life that is uniquely him?
Maybe this is like silly, but a lot of the time he'll just do this little dance. It's not always when he's happy. Sometimes he'll do it when he needs a little boost of energy, or we both are going through something, or something difficult just happened, or an inconvenience. He'll do this little dance. And it'll pep him up, and I think it also really peps me up. And I think he's just really wise in that way, where almost anything, I think even like hard things, he is very aware of his own trauma and grief and the traumas of the world, but is able to not lose himself in all of it. And he's able to remind me that even though a lot of things are very serious, we don't have to experience life in a serious tone all the time. And oftentimes there's just no reason to be like upset, or there's no reason to dwell on something. And I think that little dance, like it's just like a physical manifestation of being able to live with joy.
Who's the better dad to all your stuffed animals?
That's a great question. You'd have to ask them. Here's how I see it. I think Michal is probably a better dad traditionally. He's good at taking care of things. But I think I'm a little bit more mischievous and playful, which like is really important for a child's life, including a plushie. And oftentimes I'll make our little stuffed animals do evil things to each other, which I think is important for their personal growth. But I think he probably takes care of them more.
What excites you about building a life together?
The more time we spend together, the better we are at loving each other. And the better we are at loving each other, I think has made the both of us better at loving ourselves. And I think that excites me a lot because I really just see the both of us growing in so many different ways and like doing things that we just naturally aren't even going to be able to think of because like life is so big and large and long. And I'm just excited to, I don't know, be in those different moments and be like, wow, we're here. Wow, we're doing this. And also like life can be really hard and sad and weird. And I think knowing that we have each other along that process gives me a lot of hope and strength also.
Who's going to be the cuter old person?
Honestly, even though I have the advantage of the Asian glow and probably not looking old until I'm like 80, I think Mikhail will be the cuter old person because I think he'll be like a little bit grumpy, but still at the core of him will be this big heart that's covered with a little bit of stone because that's what happens to old people, I think. I think he'll just have a soft spot for everything. I think I already have a soft spot for everything, so I might end up being like this crazy manic old man. I don't know, I just adore Mikhail and I feel like seeing him as is gonna be so funny, and also me being that will be so funny.
What do you want to say to the Mikhail of 30 years from now?
We did it! I don't know. I guess the same thing I'd want to tell him now. I love him. I believe in him. I'm grateful for him. I'm so happy that he exists. I think he's the best thing in the world. Also, we still got living to do. I don't know what our dreams or goals will be then, but I'm like excited for us to be excited to do them together.
Is there anything else you want to add about your relationship?
I think I'm just really happy. And I don't even know who I'm talking to actually, but I'm just really grateful for everyone in my life who has shown me love and taught me how to love, including Mikhail. And I'm also grateful to everyone in his life that showed him love and taught him how to love, because I do think even though a relationship is often framed as two people, it is more than that. It's everyone and everything that made you who you are so that you can be something together. Yeah. Gracias.
Okay. Mikhail, ¿qué significa el amor para ti?
Pues el amor para mí significa estar cómodo con alguien. La campana. ¿Nos esperamos?
Si quieres puedes volver a comenzar. Creo que igual van a ver sonidos.
Se vende, se compra. Bueno, pues el amor para mí significa, pues, sentirte bien con alguien, poder ser tú mismo, tener confianza con otra persona. Hay como muchos niveles en el amor, ¿no? Con amistad, romántico, platónico, y pues en particular yo siento que todo eso lo he experimentado con Travis. Me siento así enamorado de él.
¿Qué son una de tus cosas preferidas de Travis?
A ver, I'm gonna try answer this one in English. 3 things, or you just say like?
Algunas cosas las que te vengan a la mente.
I really like how Travis is really positive. Like even in the worst scenario or anything, I think he sees positivity in everything. And I'm kind of like the opposite, so that's really good for me. So me gusta mucho de él. Es positivo, también es muy feliz. Es muy alegre, muy cariñoso. Su personalidad, su forma de vestir, pues, es que me encanta. Todo me gusta de él.
¿Cuál es uno de tus recuerdos preferidos?
Recuerdos preferidos. Mm, a ver. Pues hay muchos. Estoy tratando de como acordarme en concreto de uno en específico. Pero a Travis le gusta mucho la familia. Entonces, la primera Navidad que pasé con él y sus papás, como esa interacción de él estar... A ver, déjame pensar esa frase otra vez. Sí, como estar viendo cómo él interactuaba con su familia y ver el por qué le importa tanto eso, como... y ser incluido, ¿no? Eso me hizo como sentirme muy a gusto y pues sí, como que alguien llegar y que te acojan y que te trate como su familia sin en realidad conocerte. O sea, eso fue es una muy bonita memoria para mí.
¿Qué es algo que quisieras recordar mientras continúan a compartir su vida juntos?
Pues siento que es importante recordar que podemos tener diferentes como momentos o altibajos entre los dos y que independientemente de las malas cosas que puedan pasar, que siempre tenemos nuestras espaldas. Creo que ahí estoy traduciendo algo como de inglés al español, ¿verdad? Have each other's back. Y pues sí, como que estamos el uno para el otro. Siento que eso es importante que lo tengamos presente en el futuro de nuestra relación.
¿Cuál es un sueño? ¿Cuál es un sueño que tienes para los dos como pareja?
Voy a contestarlo de dos formas. Creo que un sueño... A ver, repíteme otra vez la pregunta. Como que siento que me...
Un sueño que tienes para los dos.
Un sueño que tengo para los dos. Ok, sí. Como de dos formas. Siento que me gustaría... A veces cuando estamos así interactuando en cosas regulares, así como en la cocina o ese tipo de cosas, como que a veces me imagino esto, pero de grandes, como de viejitos. Y como que pienso, qué padre nos la vamos a pasar de viejitos. Como que eso se me haría muy padre. Y también de otra forma sería como el rollo que le gusta mucho a la comunidad a Travis. Entonces en algún momento me gustaría que pues nuestras pasiones que tengamos en cuestión laboral, que las podamos unir de alguna forma. Eso también estaría algo bonito.
Ok, pasando a mis preguntas.
Claudia.
¿Cuál es una cualidad que Travis ama de ti?
Una cualidad que Travis ama de mí. El otro día estábamos hablando de esto. Siento que somos un poquito como opuestos. Entonces yo creo que una cualidad que a lo mejor hasta yo no lo veo como una, es de que soy como más realista en las cosas. Entonces siento que eso a él como lo baja un poquito y pues como un buen balance.
¿Y cuál es uno de los... no sé cómo traducirlo en español?
A ver, sí, en English.
What is one of Travis's biggest pet peeves?
Híjole, no sé qué es
Pet
eso.
peeves es algo que a lo mejor le molesta. No tiene que ser de ti, pero siempre, no sé, por ejemplo, no sé, que un pet peeve puede ser, no sé, por ejemplo, un pet peeve para mí es que la gente que no me ayuden a lavar los trastes. O que...
Y eso que algo que le molesta a Travis.
Y no tiene que ser de ti, pero
Ujú.
que tú
Pues así como en una cosa como, no sé, más general tal vez. Siento que él está muy involucrado con todo lo que está pasando en el mundo. Entonces a veces pasan situaciones en el mundo que le podría molestar, como si no estás de acuerdo con, como con la parte positiva. No sé si me estoy dando a explicar, como que eso le molestaría. Como las injusticias, algo así, podría ser.
Un pet peeve suele ser algo más como regular, supongo. O sea, no. Me gusta esa respuesta.
Ah, ok,
Pero
como algo más simple.
más simple, ajá.
Le molesta. Tiene muchas cosas, como muchos que para mí no tienen sentido. Por ejemplo, yo puedo dejar la bolsa en la silla y él dice, no, en la bolsa tiene que ir en la otra silla. Ese tipo de cosas le molestan. Sí. ¿Sí es eso? ¿Se ve algo más así?
Dame un segundo. ¿Cuál es su mayor, no sé cómo traducirlo? What is your biggest strength as a couple?
A big strengths as a couple. I think the balance of both of us, like how we are, our personalities, are really different. I always think that when you find a person, you kind of have to be like kind of like the opposite in some way, so you have a balance. Because for me, if you're like almost the same, I mean, we can have like the same values and stuff like that, but at the end, if like you're really really similar, it's like kind of like boring. So I think that since we are kind of like opposites, we like balance and like we meet in the middle.
What was your first impression of Travis?
That he was really sexy and really outgoing, and like he really was in touch with his, how do you say it, like the way he was dressing, like como muy conforme con su forma de vestir. Eso fue lo físico, porque pues lo vi así, ¿no?
Ok. ¿Y cuando lo conociste ya en persona?
Pues me di cuenta que es una persona muy, no sé cómo describirlo, pero como que Travis tiene como alguna, como, es muy inocente de una cierta forma, como que no hay maldad en él, como que eso, pues es una muy buena persona.
¿Qué estaba haciendo cuando te diste cuenta que lo amabas?
¿Qué estaba haciendo? Yo creo, es que esto es como raro, ¿no? Porque antes de que lo conociera en persona, platicamos mucho por WhatsApp. Y en una Navidad estábamos platicando como si fuéramos novios y ni siquiera nos conocíamos. Y me estaba mandando fotos de su familia y de la comida. Y a lo mejor no en ese momento como que, lo amo, pero estaba pensando como que esto no es normal lo que está pasando. Como eso probablemente va a progresar en algo, algo muy bueno, algo bien.
Ok. ¿Quién es un mejor padre a todos sus animalitos?
Yo creo, yo soy el mejor padre. I was the one who had the interactions with them. I was the one who give them personalities and voices. So I think without me, they were just would be like toys and that's it.
Ok. Who is sexier?
Travis. Sexier, quién es más sexy? Pues Travis, sí, sí.
Okay. What is something Travis brings to your life that is uniquely him? Tal vez, a lo mejor ya lo contestaste, pero tal vez tienes otra respuesta.
Well, creo que, pues obviamente como te crían, estás acostumbrado a muchas cosas. Entonces, en cierta forma, también él fue criado en otra manera. Y siento por su misma forma de ser positivo. Y no es que yo sea la persona más negativa y la más rencorosa y así, ¿no? Pero en ese espectro, como que él está en otra dirección. Y siento que él me puede sacar de momentos que puedo tener malos. Y no necesariamente le tengo que decir, como que él solo dice, como que se puede dar cuenta, Mijael está pasando un momento raro y se me puede acercar o hacer algo chistoso, something silly, and he would put me out of that negative moment. Sí.
Eso es lo importante. Dame un segundo. Ok. ¿Qué te emociona de construir una vida juntos?
Todas las aventuras que vamos a tener. Siento que desde que conozco a Travis, todos son como mejores momentos, aventuras. Siempre platicamos de ciertas cosas del futuro y siento el hecho de que estemos haciendo este compromiso como que hace todo más real, entre comillas, porque es como algo de como más seguro, ¿no? Entonces, si alguna cosa la platicamos mucho más a futuro, pues esto lo hace como, no sé, como más cierto, de cierta forma.
Ok. Y última pregunta. ¿Quién va a ser... ¿Quién va, o sea, de grandes, de ya muy grandes,
Ajá.
quién va a ser el más lindo?
Pues es que él, yo creo que sería un viejito muy lindo, pero es que él siempre es todo más así, más cute y más, y siento que yo soy más como serio, entonces él podría ser más lindo.
¿Algo más que quisieras comentar sobre su relación?
Pues estoy muy emocionado para entrar en esta nueva etapa contigo y quiero que sepas que te amo y no, ya me quedé trabado, como que sí no aguanto para estar toda esta vida juntos. Ping.
Se me ocurrió una pregunta.
A ver.
¿Qué quisieras decirle al Travis de ahora para 30 años?
A ver. Pues que estoy muy contento de que nos estemos dando esta oportunidad y sé que hablamos de muchas cosas a futuro y a lo mejor hay cierta parte de mí como que no las veo tan claras, pero sé que tú eres más como constante con esas ideas y que yo sé que poco a poco todas las cosas que nos prometemos se van a cumplir, porque sé que se pueden lograr y aparte tú eres una persona que me insiste y que me pone como ciertas cosas que me hacen que avance, entonces siento que todo eso se va a lograr. Sí. No estaba grabando.
Yeah, this was actually a therapy session. I'm like your couples therapist. It's like couples who like get married by the church
Yeah.
and go see the priest before they get married. And he gives them advice. Okay.
How do we do this?
What? How do we do it?
I think you can just...
We just texted, no? Because we met by a app, Grinder. ¿No es cierto?
No,
Tinder.
but it wouldn't be a problem if it was Grindr.
And yeah, we just met up in Reforma.
Pero this is gonna be through my lens because everything was about me.
It is.
We met on a dating app, and I notoriously am bad at using dating apps and never really use them successfully because I would like message people and then forget about it for a month and then log back on, which apparently doesn't work. But actually, I had just moved to Mexico City and had been having all these different experiences. There was one month where I was like, oh, I think I'm ready to be with someone. And I had never felt that way before. I always felt like I wanted to prioritize everything else aside from like, why have a romantic relationship? I don't get the hype. And then I was like, actually, I think I could do it. And then we literally just met. It was like, I feel like that same week we matched on the dating app and we just started talking. And what shocked me was that we were actually like talking and I didn't forget to reply to his messages.
Mm-hmm.
And shortly after that, it was like Christmas. So we both, he was in Juarez, I was in California. And then something happened, like he was sick or I
got
sick.
COVID, and then you pretended to have COVID.
I didn't pretend to have COVID. I was really sick.
No, just told the truth. Like a
Why would
year,
I pretend?
one time you say that.
I don't remember this.
Where are you read? We talked like
Maybe I just knew he was the love of my life based on our messages, and I wanted some more time. But we had been messaging like back and forth for
a few months.
Like a few months, and we couldn't meet essentially because we were traveling, and then he was sick, I was sick. Stop. But like over that period, it was Christmas, and I remember sending him photos of my like house and like I don't know, like the gingerbread man my mom made, and like photos of my mom's like little decorations, and like photos of me like walking in a field. Just 'cause I was so excited to share him stuff.
That's what I tell you in one of my questions. No?
I was like so excited to share like these things, even though we hadn't met. But I think I'm often that kind of person. I'm just like excited to share life with people, and a lot of people are like, I don't need all that shit. Mm-hmm. But he actually was sending me stuff back, and I don't know, we were just talking. Mm-hmm. We were just talking the whole time.
But yes, we met in Reforma, and we have a date.
Yeah, and then we finally met in Reforma, and we went to this Japanese restaurant, and then we went to this terrible bar. But it was funny.
Okay, it's strange because we talked for so many months, so I think we knew each other a little bit before we went in person.
Yeah, but also a lot of it I think was expectation. Like I was like, okay, what is it going to be like in person?
Mm-hmm. What is the next question?
And it was really sweet. No, but it was really sweet.
I was tired of this question.
I think you already answered it, no?
No, but there's something else I wanted to say.
Now I know why it took so long.
There's something else I wanted to say. Oh, I don't feel like it was love at first sight. I don't know if that is real, but I don't think that's what happened to us. We just started doing everything together, and I fell in love really fast. But yeah, I feel like our whole relationship is...
How did you meet?
It's like...
We met in Reforma, Claudia.
No, but I feel like our whole relationship is like this organic. Okay, next question.
Alright, I'm gonna let Michal start with you.
Okay.
What does marriage mean to you?
What marriage means to me, I think was this like a commitment between us. I don't mean to sound like cold or anything. Obviously we love each other, but we are seeing this commitment as benefit for us for the future, no?
Sí.
And because we are in love, and that's what God wants. No sé.
Puedes hablar en español también. Yeah, I think ditto. I feel like neither of us thought about marriage as a step in our lives, because I think personally as queer people, we like unsubscribe from the idea of marriage as an institution. that we needed to participate in. But then we just started talking like for a few months about what it would look like if we moved somewhere new or wanted to live in a place for a while. And yeah, and then we started navigating, okay, what would that look like? And it made me realize that, I guess this is obvious, but like marriage is a strategic decision that partners make to build their lives together a bit easier. I don't know if that's how people view it. I do feel like a lot of people are just like, I want to get married before I'm like 40, or like, I just never felt that. And I don't think he ever felt that. Like we had a conversation early on in our relationship where we were like, I don't want to get married. But we did probably a year ago say we would marry each other. But yeah, I think we came to this decision because it excites the both of us to like be able to build a future together. And marriage helps us do that. But now I'm really excited, and now we're planning like this little wedding because we're just doing this between us that we're gonna have in Mexico City with like our immediate family and close friends in the city. But I do want to have a big wedding in 5 years because I also feel this like sense of FOMO and competition with other couples, like all the straight couples I'm seeing on Instagram posting their marriages. I'm like, people can't leave our wedding and be like, oh, that was so cute, so humble.
So
this
maybe,
is just the beginning.
So maybe we should put at the end of the wedding like 5 years wait for the real one.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Yeah. In 5 years, we're gonna have a blowout wedding, unless we decide not to.
What is the next question?
What do you want your families to know about your relationship?
That's a good question. Like, what do you want the people in your life to know about?
What's something that you feel like you haven't expressed so far in this interview that you both feel like is important for them to know about your relationship?
I think that the other that you said is that we are like a team, but we have to be more proactive about this, no? But I think that the other, we are a team, and that we root for each other, and I think that's a good thing. And probably specifically my family, they would imagine that we are like this, but not exactly, because I have never shared this.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think I want my family and my friends to know how happy I am. And I think they do. But I think it's different to witness a relationship. And my cousin recently visited us, and at the end of their visit, she like turned to me, Helen, and told him that she was really happy that I found him. And I feel that way. I feel really happy that we found each other. Because I feel supported in every way possible. And I think we've learned how to support each other in every way possible. And like we're getting better at it every single day. I mean, I guess that's why people have weddings, because you're just like so excited about your love. Yeah. I want the people in my life to know like how excited I am to be alive with this person.
What is something that you each want to bring into your marriage?
Que eso le puedo brindar.
I don't know the word for it, but I guess like an excitement for life and like passion, a passion for living. Because I really feel like together we can do anything. And like anything can literally be anything. I get excited thinking about us like moving somewhere new, or us helping each other achieve our career dreams, or us going and buying an ice cream cone. Just like everything like small and big becomes more exciting together. And I want to bring that excitement to our relationship and just like constantly think of new things we can do. Let's go here, let's do this. Or let's do nothing.
Just get married now.
I mean, we essentially came to this decision very organically and pragmatically, because marriage, like for marriage, isn't, or I guess wasn't that exciting to us. Now it is feeling exciting, but we're getting married now so that we can more easily move around the world as a shared unit, as partners. Which, like, it's funny because I feel like we were talking a lot about doing it in the first place, and then it was like, okay, getting married makes so much sense, like across the board. It'll make everything easier in terms of building life together outside of Mexico, if that's what we want to do.
And also you wanted to wear a really pretty dress, no?
Yeah, and I also want to look fabulous. But then we like spent some time talking about like how do we do it? Because neither of us thought about marriage. Because at first we were like, let's just do it. And we were like, okay, let's just do it. And then I was like, wait, but that's disrespectful to the people in our lives who view this as a moment to celebrate together. I don't know, marriage is weird. It's weird how society like puts expectations on what this means for the couple and also what this means for the individual at that point in their lives.
Also because we already planned like a year before that our families could meet, and it's gonna happen next month, and we were talking about the marriage for a few months, and both our families are gonna be here, so why don't we do it like while they're here?
See, it was like a perfect coincidence. Because it's like the first time that both of our families
Are gonna
it's the
meet.
first time that both of our families are meeting, and it'll also be when we're getting married. But I know his family well, and he knows my family really well.
And besides, I'm pregnant. And it's gonna show, guys.
And it's a Shiba Inu. But yeah, it's like an evolution in our shared life.
How will you work through hard things?
By believing in each other. And by trusting each other. And by learning to be patient, not only with each other, but with ourselves.
Independientemente de lo que pueda pasar en altibajos, pues sabemos que estamos el uno para el otro, independientemente de cómo surjan las cosas. ¡Ting!